Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. This is Zishan Isaac with Zishan on Air, and without any further ado, I would like to welcome you with Zishan on Air every Sunday, 6 p.m. and onward, and also on the legacy media as well as on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, and also Instagram Live. And I would like to welcome all the viewers from Instagram. I would like to welcome them as well. So welcome all of you. We have a lot of information that we would like to cover, especially with regards to this situation with the Epstein files. This is not going anywhere. Axios has also reported, and there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of conspiracy, and there's a lot of, I would say, people who are actually scratching their heads and thinking that what the heck is going on. Well, this is a good piece by Axios, where literally they discussed with regards to this scandal may never die. And why is that? I'll tell you. An expanding blast radius. Some Epstein associates, British power broker Peter Mandelson, Norwegian royal Met Merritt, celebrity doctor Peter Attia are paying real reputational and professional costs in the wake of new revelations. Well, they should have known better. By contrast, figures such as Elon Musk and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick have faced few consequences of, after emails undercut their denial of contact with Epstein following his 2008 sex crime conviction. And then partisan on both sides continue to treat Epstein as a proxy war, accusing President Trump and former President Clinton of crimes that far exceeded any substantiated evidence in the files. Well, obviously, Axios has to remain in business, so they are treading this very carefully. A gap between government and public, that's number 2 point. The Justice Department has framed its massive documented release as the end of the Epstein review, with no indication that further prosecution are coming, unchanged from its position last July. And there are all these points. And then obviously President Trump with his Truth Social, and as Trump himself is talking about this, and his account on Truth Social is there. Then endless intrigue, overwhelming volume, and from QAnon, emails show Epstein met with the founder of 4chan around, or 4can, I don't know how they pronounce it, around the same time the site launched. And then FBI source reports and internal emails containing unverified claims and secondhand suspicions about Epstein's possible ties to Mossad. That's the intel agency, as well known all over the world. A very strong intel agency when it comes to Mossad, when it comes to CIA and MI6, obviously from Britain, and then there are others in the world. But these are the formidable ones where they have a lot of intel. So this issue is not going anywhere for years, perhaps. Thriving misinformation. So obviously these files are being consumed in an information ecosystem that struggles with nuance, context, and legal standards, as reported by Axios here. And obviously guilt by association has become the default reaction. The confusion is further compounded by AI fake emails, doctored screenshots, and AI generated images circulate alongside authentic documents, tricking even veteran journalists. And then one example, a passing mention of filmmaker Myra Nair attending a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's home has fueled wild conspiracy theories and AI generated images, falsely linking her son, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, who is quoting Quranic verses. And I'm just going to take a pause here because, many people who are in politics, they love to quote whatever faith they belong to, Christianity or Judaism, and in this case with Mamdani, Quranic verses. And, it's just fascinating. There's something called separation of church and state, but no one is immune to it, even Mamdani. So he has become a politician come preacher. And some people love it. Obviously, people of Muslim faith, they love it. People who do not belong to Muslim faith, they're like, oh, are you going to Islamicize New York? Are you going to make this a socialist city? because I'm all for capitalism, and I'm all for capitalism in terms of check capitalism, because socialism does not work. And a lot of people call him a commie, and his policies are certainly there. He's going to pay for it, and I'm criticizing based on his own plan. So let's see. New Yorkers love him because obviously what happens in New York, right? A lot of immigrants, they go to New York for a better life. The first 5, 6, 7, 10 years, maybe longer, would be tough. And you cannot just get handouts in America. And Manhattan is obviously a place where rich of the richest or wealthiest of the wealthiest live there. And then obviously people walk by on the streets and they see all these high-rise, tall buildings, and people, obviously enjoying lives with second, third, or fourth generation, especially if you work for one of the corporate Fortune 100 or 500 companies, these executives. So it's human nature that people are going to feel that they are certainly not there. So in terms of the, I would say, social status that everyone wants to see. So that's one of the other reasons as well that Mamdani, because of that neglect by politicians, especially mayors of New York City, now we have Mamdani. He is certainly someone that we hope, and I hope that he succeeds, but we'll see. The writing is on the wall where he may or he may not, and we'll just see. So he is now obviously being, subjected to this false AI-generated images as reported in this Axios news article as well. And then Epstein as a symbol. For many people, the Epstein case has become shorthand for a deeper belief that powerful figures operate by different rules and that the system is either unwilling or unable to hold them fully to account. Well, let me tell you this. This thing has been going on for centuries. This is just in the new era that these people have gotten caught. And because of more check and balances, and especially where we are in the past 30, 40 years in terms of very divisive politics in this country. So if people believe that, this thing is just completely new and never happened in the history of humankind, well, I'm sorry to say, these things have happened. But at the same time, we're not going to justify, because horrendous and something, a human mind and someone who has a heart will never be able to reconcile with this kind of filth and gross violations of human dignity. And we have seen with many of the reports, even the emails and these Epstein files that have come out. So what Axios is also reporting, nowhere is that clearer that many see the case's original sin, the 2008 plea deal that effectively foreclosed federal prosecution of alleged Epstein co-conspirators. Here's another problem. Now, in 2008, who was in office in 2008? That was the Bush, the end of Bush, and then Obama came in. And then obviously after Obama, President Trump came in. And then after President Trump, Biden came in. And after Biden's Trump 2.0. So all these administrations, they were sitting on this information for decades now, right? So that's why people, and not only in the US, all over the world, are very upset that what the heck? Well, people who have not been following politics, who have not been following various kinds and degrees of how laws have been broken from 2008 financial collapse to this, they obviously are now thinking, what the heck? And they obviously are in for a big surprise. And some are in a state of shock, some are in a state of denial, and some are just absolutely angry and frustrated with all of this. And I don't blame any one of them. The Trump administration's slow walking of the files, refusal to clarify who benefited from Epstein's trafficking, and failure to bring additional cases have only deepened the systemic trust deficit. So that's also what we're facing at this point. So Trump, in an escalation, calls for Republicans to nationalize elections. That's another key story here, because he wants to nationalize elections. And then with a lot of pressure, as reported by NBC News as well, 700 immigration agents are being withdrawn from Minnesota, Border Czar says. That's Tom Homan. And there's still almost 3,000 plus federal immigration agents have descended onto Minneapolis and what Trump administration has dubbed Operation Metro Surge. For comparison, the city has 600 local law enforcement officials The Department of Homeland Security said agents have arrested about 3,000 undocumented immigrants since the operation began. Now, let's take a pause here. These 3,000 undocumented immigration people or immigrants, obviously, they broke the law. So Democrats or Republicans, Democrats may not say it out loud. Republicans obviously will say it out loud. And then independents will try to weigh in based on the right reasons and objective reasoning, if there is any left in political discourse, that, hey, these people did break the law. The execution of it, that's basically where the administration is certainly under a lot of fire, under a lot of heat. So AP News, Associated Press has reported Homeland Security shutdown grows more likely as Republicans rebuff Democrats' ICE demand. So what Republicans are doing, they're pushing back, but it's not going to work because Americans, in general and at large, they are not subscribing to these kind of tactics, especially when two Americans are dead. Literally, they have lost their lives. And there's a third one. Again, it's a conspiracy theory or literally someone has died. I have not seen the third one in terms of confirmation in my research, but if someone has it, please send it to me. So there is this lot of what you call situation from a Democratic standpoint. Even from a Republican standpoint, this is Senator Thune from South Dakota. Quote, he said that this is not a blank check situation where Republicans just do agree to a list of Democrat demands, unquote, said Thune. He's a Republican of South Dakota. Quote, he further said that the only way to get reforms to ICE is to agree to a bill, unquote. So there may be a bill, Democratic demands, Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries from the House. He's basically talking about both of them. Quote, Schumer said, it's about people's basic rights. It's about people's safety, unquote. Schumer said, if Republicans do not like the ideas, he said, quote, they need to explain why, unquote. So Schumer has a point. Even you agree with him, you don't agree with him, you like him, you do not like him, but he is making a point here. So we have to look at this from a perspective of what is the common ground. So Democrats are also asking that remove these masks because that is giving them a free blank check or what have you, because then no one can be held accountable. So that's another issue. So the government is still in negotiations with the Democrats, and let's see what happens. This is reported by The Guardian. NSA detected foreign intelligence phone call between a person close to Trump. So please look up this news. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there are two people who basically is reported by The Guardian that they were having some discussions with some foreign countries or people from a foreign country, and then Tulsi Gabbard, as allegedly written by The Guardian, that she sat on that news, and then the whistleblower says that Tulsi Gabbard blocked agency from sharing report and delivered to White House Chief of Staff. Susie is the chief of staff there. And then further reported here that I'm going to just read very quickly. Gabbard's office learned, in fact, issued in the first public acknowledgement of the highly sensitive complaint in a letter adhered to lawmakers on Tuesday, one day after the Wall Street Journal reported on the classified brief. It was posted to the ODNI's X account, including claims that the Inspector General had not informed Gabbard of her obligations to transmit the complaint to Congress. So some technicalities, but this is something which obviously needs to be followed. It's a developing news, and then you can read more in terms of how this news was reported by The Guardian. Laura Loomer reaches her final straw, reported by Mediaite. With Trump, I don't think I'll be voting in 2026, quote unquote. That's Laura Loomer. And she said, what the hell is going on? Why are we trying to train more Muslims how to fly planes on US soil? Why is she saying that? You'll find out in a bit. Didn't we already learn our lesson? Why are we encouraging more Islamic infiltration of our country by the funders of Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood? This is very bad for our national security. Qatar is one of the largest funders of Islamic terror. Now they are being rewarded by getting a Qatari Air Force base in Idaho. She's asking that question. This is outrageous. We are allowing the Islamic enemy to gain so much ground in our country. I will never support this. So that basically was Laura Loomer, and this is why. So Pete Hegseth and his counterpart, the Qatari defense minister, what have you, they have signed this agreement where now Qatar has Air Force Base, Amiri Air Force Base, right here in the United States of America, in Idaho. So what if it was Israel? The state of Israel, would have signed this agreement. I'm just asking a question. What if it was Saudi Arabia? What if it was some other country? So this is something which is not going to sit well with many people, and we'll see how this goes. A lot of people are commenting as well, but I'll share your comments as well. Here is a comment from, he wants to stop illegals from voting election. Why is that bad? Good point. Yeah, obviously it's bad. No one should be voting in the elections who are not allowed to vote. Yeah, we're okay with the tactics. So there's another one by Kevin. He's okay with the tactics. That's you're right. But killing Americans, don't try to kill American citizens on the job, and you're going to be fine. So that's another good point. Let's see here. 4 years ago, Democrats demanded everyone wear masks. Yeah, that was obviously politicized also because of coronavirus or the pandemic. But hey, I thought Republicans are against masks. So if you go with that logic, then why anyone is now even wearing a mask? Because I thought Republicans or people on the right don't believe in wearing masks. So you cannot support that argument that now, okay, it's okay to wear it because they wore it. So if it was wrong then, it should be wrong now as well. So it doesn't make any sense to me, for sure. But that's your opinion, your point of view, and I respect your point of view because that's what we should be doing. Listen to every kind of point of view, regardless we agree with that point of view or not. But again, this is, where everyone, at least as Americans, we have the right to share what we believe, what we even wrongly believe or rightly believe, or whatever our point of view is. Houston Chronicle has reported, so Christian Menifee was sworn into U.S. House on Monday, ending 1 year without representation in Houston's 18th district, congressional district. So that's a big one because that was the seat that was held by late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And when she passed away, then former mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, held it for some time, and he passed away as well. So this is where in the past just few years, we have seen a lot of chaos, I would say, in that. And I'll take some calls, in a minute. And then U.S. cut ties with Polish Speaker of Parliament over insults against Trump. That's one news. And then the Hill GOP Democrats expect DHS shutdown after talks fizzle, and House eyes Tuesday vote to reopen the government, and it didn't work with the brief shutdown. And here is House Republicans leaders plan to vote Tuesday, and it didn't end in any kind of a negotiation. And here is obviously Steve Witkoff is meeting with the delegation here with regards to finding some type of a agreement with Tehran, with the nuclear talks. Fake posts which look to be Trump's on social media spreads widely. So one obviously was this issue with regards to this Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. I don't know what happened there. It's unbelievable. Obviously, no one can defend it. Trump couldn't defend it, but he obviously didn't apologize. But at the same time, Mr. Trump's social media activity this week, post on X circulating, the forgery reached at least 3.7 million viewers by Saturday, where he depicted as a what you call defending the original post with the ape situation. Unfortunately, this is where we are. So. Is it a distraction? Is it, how people will react? And obviously people are reacting how they would react. And unfortunately, here we are. US and Iran gather for high stakes nuclear talks. So this is an important one. And I hope, something productive comes out of these talks. Santa Clara is one of the most militarized places in America right now, obviously because Super Bowl 60, Super Bowl 50, obviously Broncos, they won. That was the last game with Peyton Manning. And obviously now, this today's game, it always has a lot of law enforcement as national security level unprecedented and then even presidential inauguration. If you compare that, it's the Super Bowl after the presidential inauguration. So some information there. So people obviously, are excited today because of the Super Bowl. And with that, I'm going to just take a quick pause here. And again, thank you for everyone who obviously share this news and then share your comments and subscribe my YouTube channel if you haven't. I would like to thank Affordable Insurance of Texas, AITinsurance.com. That's 713-785-4000 for all your auto insurance needs, commercial insurance, even homeowners insurance. Call them, visit them, www.aitinsurance.com. Their phone number is 713-785-4000. And then Roop Saudi Palace, roopsaudi.com. You can set up a virtual appointment and you can call them at 832-267-06-006. 832-267-0065. You can set up a virtual appointment or visit their website, roopsaudi.com, or just go to Hillcroft if you're in Houston or surrounding areas, and hundreds and thousands of square footage for brides, grooms, for daily wear, evening gowns, for men, women, children. They have a lot of collection. ShanghaiTexas.com for catering needs. They have 25 years of experience in catering. They just catered some parties with 600, 700 people, even 400. Contact Shanghai Restaurant, 713-953-1388. That's the phone number. Or go online, ShanghaiTexas.com. That's SHAHNAI Texas.com, one word, SHAHNAI Texas.com. You cannot miss it, and get their catering specials. Mention my name, Zishan, on here, and even for everyday menu or party trays, go to ShanghaiTexas.com. Prince Jewelers Houston, they're at 590 on Hillcroft Street, Suite C3, and their phone number is 281-777-1457. 281-777-1457. 22-karat gold jewelry you can buy or sell. They have decades of experience, Prince Jewelers Houston. And with that, before I sign off, I would like to also mention if you are a chef and you are that chef, you know how to make Pakistani cuisine, all different kinds of cuisine, especially biryani, pulao. These are some names of very special items, korma, chicken karai, goat karai, you name it, very gourmet and delicious items, and you are a chef, then call Mike, 832-605-0600. His number is on the screen, 832-605-0600. So with that, I'm going to sign off and continue with the Legacy Media. And again, you have been a wonderful listening audience. Again, I report, you decide, and please share, subscribe. And again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.